Hello class one again. I did absolutely love your spider webs last week. They were amazing, class one. What a lovely thing to show me at the end of the week. So that was really superb. This week we're going to have a look at some Kente weaving. Can you see how wonderful a Kente weave looks like at the end? It looks really tricky, and some bits are a little bit tricky, but actually if you're a little bit good with your fingers, and I know you are, class one, we'll be able to do this together. Okay, here we go. Now I know you'll have some paper to start with, or some card, and I think you'll have this already cut. Somebody would have folded it in half and sliced some of these up. Can you see that? So what you've got is a piece of card with holes in. This is going to help us start our weaving. And also what you will have are some coloured strips of paper or card. I've started with green, then yellow, then blue. It doesn't really matter as long as you try and repeat the pattern. And we're very good in class one at repeating patterns. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a strip and we're going to weave it through the holes. So this time we're going to start at the back of our card. And can you see I've slotted it in at the back there, and it's peeking through here. And then we're going to open up the next slot there, and we're going to weave it underneath. Okay, keep pushing it in very carefully. And then, if you look at the back actually, you can see there's one, the card is underneath this side, and it's going over the next one. And then we're going to go under and over, just like you would when you weave in a basket. So I need to open up the next little slot and push it through. And then open up the next little slot and push it through. Open up the next little slot and push it through again. So under, over, under, over, under, over. Keep pushing it through, open up again, and then push it all the way through. So that's your first one nearly done. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to curl this to the front, and I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to glue the back. And so it just stays in position. So I need some glue. And I'm going to glue just the ends of your strips of paper. And I'm going to fold it down so it doesn't slip when we're working it, okay? So that's one already done. There is a trick actually to making sure that you always push it, this strip, so it doesn't slip down again. So it's got to be quite tight. So I've started with green. Next I'm going to do yellow. Now this time I'm going to change it, because last time I started off at the back. But if you make a weaving pattern, you've got to do the opposite with the next strip that you've got. So I'm going to go over this time. I'm going to start over, and I'm going to open the slot and go, and the next one's going to go under. I'm going to open the slot, and the next one's going to go through it, and then over the next one. Can you see this pattern beginning to emerge? Under, and then here it comes again. Open the slot, and it comes out, and we're going to go over the next one. Open the slot, it's going to go under, open the slot, and it's going to go there all the way through. I'm going to push it up as high as I can, because then it will stay there. When you weave in a basket, you'll notice that people weave and then they push the weave up, the basket up, so it doesn't fall down again. It's got to be quite tight. And this with weaving is exactly the same. So we're going to turn it over, and we're going to glue it again. Just the strips. Oops, daisy. Be careful not to do what I just did actually, just put it away by mistake. So we're going to, oops, this is coming off. Just fold it over. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm folding it over, and I'm just gluing it down. I'm folding it over, and I'm going to glue it down again. When I turn it around to the right way now, you can see I've got my two sets of weave. So here I go with my next colour, all right? So my pattern is going to be green, yellow, blue. Green, yellow, blue. Green, yellow, blue. And that's going to be probably different for you. I'm not sure what colour you're going to be using, but it will be a pattern, okay? So I've started that one underneath and that one over. So what's going to come next then? Absolutely, it's going to go under again. So we're going to start underneath and we're going to open the slots and push it underneath. Open the slot, oops. And it's quite tricky how to hold it up, but you'll find it easier when it's against the table. And I'm slotting it through each time. Oops, weaving it through. Open it up. And then slotting it through. Opening it up, slotting it through. I'm going to make sure that once again it's going to be nice and tight. So I'm going to push it up as much as I can, right? Then carefully turn it over. Glue those edges. Fold them over so they don't come off. And then we have our third one. So we have green, yellow and blue. So guess what colour's going to be next? You're right, it's green. So our green one would start, we've got under, over, it would be underneath, start underneath again. I'm going to keep doing that all the way until you've got a whole page of weaving done, okay? So I'm going to stop that because you now know how to do that. But when you finish that, you're going to start to decorate it. Do you remember what you saw on here? I'll show you. There are some amazing patterns. They're beautiful African Ghana patterns, and they are quite easy to do, and they repeat the patterns each time. Just like we've repeated colours, we're going to repeat patterns as well. Okay, so this time I've started this one already, and I've started by doing triangles. I'll show you how to do that. You'll need a black marker for this, okay? And on the green one, I've done the blue one, I've done the yellow one, now I'm going to do the green one. I'm just going to copy the blue one. I'm going to draw a cross on here. It's not a cross that goes from the top to the bottom, it goes diagonally. So it starts in the corner and goes down. I'll show you again. It starts in the corner and it goes across to the bottom there, and then start from the other corner and across. And you're going to do that for each one. Then you're going to colour in the top and the bottom bit. I'll just do that really quickly so you can see what I mean. See what I mean? I coloured in the top part and the bottom part, but I didn't colour in the sides because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see any green. And then I'm going to do the same there and there. I'm hurrying again, but don't you hurry. You take your time and show us how beautiful you can do it. There we go, we've got our diagonal lines. And the next one on the blue, I'm going to copy what I did on the yellow actually. And what you need to do, this I found a little bit tricky actually, but you might find it easier than me. It's a zigzag line. If you practice with your fingers now, a zigzag line going up and down, you go diagonally across, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you're going to do that 4 times. In this little box, and you're going to try and follow the same zigzag each time that you do it. Let me show you. So I'm going to do up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I've run out of room actually, but I'm going to make sure that I do exactly the same again, just right next to it. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and again up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And again, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now when we've got 4 of those zigzag lines, I'm going to colour in just some of them. Can you see here? I started at the bottom here. I'm going to carefully do it. I'm not going to go across the lines because that's really important. Otherwise you won't see that beautiful African pattern. Then I'm going to leave the blue, the next bit. I'm going to leave that blue so you can still see the blue underneath it. And I'm going to colour in the in-between line now. Like that. And then, again, I'm going to leave that little bit of blue above there, and I'm going to go one above it again, and I'm going to do the top part now. I'm sure if it's a bit too tricky, I'm sure you'll get plenty of help. There we go. Can you see it's similar to what I've done with the yellow one there? And then I do that for all of those as well. So I've got here, I've got the diagonal lines, then the diagonal line. So this one's going to be the diagonal line again. Look, on the next line, you're going to have zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. So all across here, you're going to have the diagonal lines, the top line. Just look at the way I'm holding it actually, then you might get a clue. I'm holding it in a landscape position. So it's not portrait, it's a landscape. And the next one is going to be zigzag, 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 zigzag. And that'll be the same. So all the way across will have exactly the same. And then diagonal, diagonal, all the way across on the colour card only, okay? On the red, we're going to be doing something different. Zigzag all the way across, diagonal all the way across on the coloured paper. Zigzag all the way across on each coloured bit of paper, diagonal on each piece of coloured paper. And when you've done that, you might want to stop there, or you might want to go one further. And it's really nice if you colour or do some lovely designs in the middle where the red is in between the coloured squares. And what I've done 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, quite close together, and I've left a space. I've done 1, 2, 3 again, and then I'm going to do that all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and again 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now the next one, I thought it'd be rather nice to do these little dashy lines, and so you might want to keep it this way, you might want to turn it around, it's up to you. But what I would do is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 5 or 6 little lines. Make them quite tiny, not too big, and then underneath them repeat that again, and then underneath repeat that again, and then again. So all the lines in these red squares are going to be lines and going across, and all the lines in the next one are going to be dashes going up. Okay, they're like a little bit like a number 1, a tiny one. Okay, so at the end, the whole of your sheet should be covered. That'd be fantastic. I would love to see what you've done there. Oh, by the way, actually, now and again I did these on top here where I did the dashes. I forgot to tell you that, and the reason why, that's another beautiful African pattern, and that does make it really nice. If you can remember when you're doing yours, that if you're going to do these number 1s, either side, the top and the bottom, could be those as well. It doesn't matter if you don't remember. There's quite a lot to remember here, but I'm so excited to see your creations, because I do absolutely love Class 1's artwork, as you know, and I can't wait to see it on Friday. I'll see you then. Thanks, Class 1. Bye.